Hey, so I'm gonna go over yesterday's price action, Tuesday's price action, and yeah, basically, hold on, see what trades presented themselves, and yeah, what happened during the day. I'm probably gonna stop at 2 p.m. Uh, although I trade only until 11:30 max, but still. So the 1 hour is pretty bearish. Everything is pretty bearish. The daily as well. The 4 hour, it's just everything dumps. Coming into New York session, we just had a gap tap and we reacted pretty good from it. So that also already indicates we're probably going to go down today, or at least in the New York session. Well, like these two gaps are pretty obvious in my opinion. And on the 15-minute, you also have this gap. So yeah, the same thing. Now let's go to open. This is Yeah, so this is the open candle. The 5-minute did respect these two gaps, but the 15 inversed it, this gap. So you could have theoretically taken something like this. Yeah, but in my opinion, it's a bit too risky, and I don't see a point taking a trade. Usually, only a couple minutes after open. So, but let's see if it would play out. Yeah, so now we get this like pretty confirming candle. Like, okay, we're gonna go down. So I guess you'd put stop loss to break even here, and you'd get stopped at break even unless you took profits before the final target at like a 1-to-1. You would have bagged even a um, 1-to-2. Yeah. Either way, I'm still looking for a bit more structure on the 5 and 15-minute to give me a solid short entry. Obviously, the 15-minute closes very bearish, so that's a good sign. Yeah, we don't really get any entries, any opportunities to short. Like, we get this gap, but no tap. And we pretty much just dump towards this gap. Yeah, because we had chop, and then it took us like what, 10 minutes to go dump these like 100 points to the gap. No real entries. This is the trade I took, and I went over it on my journal. So we did miss the gap tap here, but on the 15-minute, I don't think we had anything. It was just such a violent dump that based off of the last couple of days, I knew we're probably not going to have any retracements or any major ones, and that made me slap this trade. Oh no, I had a better entry, so slap something like this. And it did play out. So yeah, and then basically this was a really solid trade as well. This 5-minute gap tap. So we got this 5-minute gap. Let's go back to here. In the 1 minute, we get this 5-minute gap, and then we edge it, we tap it. You could have slapped a short position right here, putting stops. Yeah, up here. That's pretty good. And you're targeting liquidity down here. So let's see, your entry was right this, and see what happened. We dumped straight to the TP, securing a nice 1.6. That's more than enough. Shouldn't be greedy. That's also almost 100 points. And then we basically kept on dumping. I would be cautious to take a trade at this time because yeah, we have these pretty obvious lows, but it's almost an hour into the session and we dumped a real good amount. We already went down 360 points. That's a lot. So you just need to pay attention to that. Only take a short setup and here if it's super obvious. And we see. Okay, so now we get a decent flip. Again, in order to take a short from here over to this liquidity, you would need something super obvious. So see what price presents us. We can mark this 5-minute gap and hop on the 1 minute, and let's see if we get anything interesting. Honestly, I'm looking at this 1 minute gap and for it to get inversed. So right now nothing. We're just chopping in between these two gaps. Nothing still. This gap is holding. Okay, that's good that we didn't take anything. I wouldn't say necessarily that we're flipping bullish yet, because this could just be a retracement. This is what, like this is 100 points. This is only a third of the last range. So I would not look at longs yet. I would need us to close maybe above here or even here to look at any longs to the highs. Probably something like this. Yeah. Probably something more similar to this. Yeah. But still, let's see what happens on the 5-minute. We did inverse this gap, but as we can see on the 15-minute, it's just another, you're entering another huge 15-minute gap, hourly as well. So, okay, so we didn't even tap the 15-minute gap, but we started rejecting a bit on the 5-minute. Yeah, I mean, this is a good idea that shows us we're gonna go down to the lows again and keep dumping. I mean, I don't see a solid entry because this candle didn't tell you enough. And on the 1 minute, I mean, I would have liked this candle to inverse this as well. But I mean, this is pretty clean. Like, even this 2-minute inverse. And you definitely could have taken something like this. And it obviously would have played out. I mean, let's see if it would. Your stop loss at this point is at break even. And yeah, you hit TP. So this is honestly a pretty solid setup. I don't know if I necessarily would have caught it. I mean, just because of I never hop on the 2-minute short, and the 5-minute was too aggressive. Yeah, and we didn't tap this gap. even during the chop, nothing. I mean, this is pretty obvious. The fact that we tapped it like 3 times almost. So I guess you could have slapped also something like this. Still pretty big stop, but I think it's still positive RR, so we're good. But yeah, I mean, honestly, after we already take this low, we're probably gonna take this low right now. And it's 11:30. I don't really see a point staying on. I don't think you're gonna get any super A plus setups, at least compared to what happened before in this huge dump. But I mean, assuming you still stayed on, um, so we edged this low, and we can see um, if there's an S&T. So this is Sunday, 11 o'clock. This is Sunday, 11 o'clock. And ES ticket, yeah. So we do have an SMT over here. So anyone that targeted this low could have went out at the SMT once he sees we start rejecting. Again, probably wouldn't take any longs just because I would need us to close higher and give us more confirmation. Because like this is a good, I guess, market structure shift. But then again, you hop on the 15-minute and we're still respecting this gap. You have these two gaps above, so it's not the best. But if we inverse this, I can see us going to the lows again. And if we respect this, then we're probably gonna go a bit higher. So let's see what happens. I mean, based off of this reaction, I'm assuming we're gonna go a bit higher. Yeah, I mean, we could go probably up to 50% of the range. We're already past it. Or if you want to take this range maybe. So theoretically you could look for shorts here. Again, it's 1 p.m. so I'm not really sure about shorts, but still. It looks pretty clean for shorts, honestly, because we went above equilibrium, tapped this gap, and the 50-minute is reacting pretty good. So honestly, I even think if we get these two inverses, you could enter a 5-minute trade, assuming the close. Yeah, the close decent. So I mean, you could take either on the 5 minutes, something like this. Yeah, or on the 1 minute. Yeah, I mean your entry would be here, so and your stop would be here. So the 1 minute trade probably looks something like this. And targeting the same. So let's just hop on the 1 minute, because I usually do enter on the 1 minute. And see what's gonna happen. So you would probably move stop loss to break even, yeah, right here. So now you're risk free. And I mean, you don't have to target 110 points. This just seems like an obvious target, in my opinion. 5-minute wick inside a gap. And you would have gotten stopped at break even unless you targeted like just a random 5-minute wick or even this gap. This probably makes a bit more sense. I think it would be negative RR, pretty sure. Um, no, it would still be, no, it would be negative, yeah. But, yeah, break-even trade is not bad. And now it's like almost 2 p.m. I wouldn't trade, honestly. I don't trade PM session as well. This looks like a pretty bullish reaction on the 15-minute tap in the CISD, the 5-minute respecting the gap, inversing this and this one. So I mean, we could go higher, but again, I would probably stay out. Yeah, like this was a perfect flip and nothing happened. So, and then I'd assume we start chopping. Yeah, yeah. Pretty good day overall. I wanna start doing these daily so I could get better at analysis, and also it's kind of like back testing in some way, because usually when I finish trading for the day I just hop off and I don't tape read the whole day. So yeah,